of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Doma is my cousin. I was born in Nimakante.
You got birth certificate?
I come in now. Reverend, take time. Reverend, you divorce a wife 2 times. You divorce a 2 wife woman.
You see how you done lie? I only been married twice. How I divorced twice? You know jack about me. You don't want to say you would divorce your wife and she vote for CDC. Don't play with me. You don't know jack about me. You don't know me.
Doma is my cousin. I was born in Nimakante.
You got birth certificate?
I come in now. Reverend, take time. Reverend, you divorce a wife 2 times. You divorce a 2 wife woman.
You see how you done lie? I only been married twice. How I divorced twice? You know jack about me. You don't want to say you would divorce your wife and she vote for CDC. Don't play with me. You don't know jack about me. You don't know me.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know.
1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3,
I love you.
4, 5, 6,
I'm missing you.
7, 8, 9,
I want you back.
Here within my arms again.
Long time no see. Out your love, I'm lonely. I miss you, and it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you.
Couple of days to say goodbye to May. And then there is June, and then July, and then August, September, October, November, December, and then 2024 becomes a history. Until then, we've got a couple of things ahead of us. And as these issues unfold, we fetch them and we discuss them and place them at your disposal.
1, 2, 3, I'm loving you.
It's another day again in Monrovia, Liberia. A great day, sunny day, a country blessed by God, yet cursed by its people, strategically positioned, God's providential care, never off it.
4, 5, 6,
I'm missing you.
7, 8, 9, I want you back.
So we are in your company, and let's say thank you so much that you place us on your itinerary for today. On the show, Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 with me, Sam Andrews and Edwin Melvin Dwell. So we got the afternoon plate. The menu is interesting. A mystery country called Liberia with too many mystery events. Just so you know, well, it is an established fact. Liberia's problem, the legislature will do a panoramic view of that. Then we tie that in to the minister, the Lebanese minister that lied to the legislature, and he was right to lie to them because they have never ever taken themselves serious.
You 1, 2, 3, I love you.
4, 5, 6,
I miss you.
So they are referred to as Zogos. LRRC will characterize Liberians that way. Should that be coming from the government institution responsible for that, not understanding the psychological damage it has caused?
Here within my arms again.
All right, time is of the essence. Let's get started. Rod, what's up? Another day again.
Yeah,
Okay.
Another splendid day. You know, we are here and we have come again, and we have come to discuss the issues, like you said. You know, a couple of things happening. WAEC to do an adjustment in the mathematics text that caused students going on various campuses and they not write a test on today.
Another fake.
Another fake. I don't know why WAEC always come here with this kind of stuff, test leak, and then later they will have to do the text a kind of way where they will come up with a lot of collusion on it for many people to fail, and later they're telling you that you got to do resetting and stuff and things.
Okay.
But we'll just chip in.
We'll run through all those.
We'll run through it. Yeah, so I
Let's-
want to say thanks to all of you for joining us. This is Bit in Pieces. Like Sam said, my name is Edwin Melvin Joa. We're here up to 6 o'clock.
Let's bring on those who have come on as usual. Juju, one word, thank you for coming on. You are live from Johnsonville. My dear sister, Yumotro Kringa, statutory member of the show, thank you for coming on. You are there in the United States of America, Minnesota. Hope that you are faring well. Alhaji Fofana, you've come on from Central Matari, Istanbul community. That's how you call it. That's good to hear. Randa Osaka Ziambo, you've come on from District 2. Solowat Corsia, you are following from New Georgia, your comfort zone, Gardnersville. Sarah Spelleman Pekin, you are following from Ganta City, Bonn County. Muya Sharif, you've come on from District 9, Cinco. Sauces, you are following from where you said, no, I don't think that is a place. And then who else? John Hesse. John Hesse, you've come on from where? New York. Andrew T. Bestment, you are following the show. You didn't say where, but it's good that you're on. Jimmy Jingo Jacko, you've come on from New Jersey. David Gifler, you've come on where you are following from Bangor City, Bonn County. And Jay Campbell Yanti, you are following from Upper Cornwall. Paul Wa Moyen, you've come on from Wensville City. Wensville City, you've come on, I don't know where is that place, but I think it should be out of Liberia. My first time hearing that word or place. Jones Pele, you've come on from Philadelphia, the United States. Blaman Taylor, you've come on from District 3, Monserrado County. And Hector F. Maya, you've come on from Baptnesville, Quebec, that's District 11. Mark James from Ganta City, Nima County. Abed P. Sue, you are following from Ethiopia. Telman, that's Telmon, you've come on from Fargo, North Dakota. And Derek Woolley from UMU main campus where you are following. Stephen Coker, my dear Junior brother, you've come on. You are following from Minnesota, the United States of America. And Jackson Pony of Iron Factory, Block C community, you've come on. Thank you ever so much. Gabriel Mann of Broadville, you've come on. Thank you ever so much for coming on. We appreciate you for coming on. And then who else? Crusoe Gangway from Tapeta, Nima County. And then Joe Daniel Down from Saniquale, Nima County. Duarte, you've come on from Minnesota, the United States of America. I hope that you are faring well, my Southeastern sister. So this is what we have on our plate. The first branch of government, all-powerful, but weak. The first branch of the Liberian government refers to as the first branch of government, all-powerful, yet weak. That is the legislature. The legislature, first branch of the Liberian government, all-powerful, yet weak. That is where we get started. The first branch of government with so much power, yet weak. Our Constitution provides a Trinitarian governance system. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. The legislature, if you look at the Constitution, we argue along the way that the executive got so much power. It carried too strong an imperial power as ascribed to it by the crafters of the Liberian Constitution. On the other hand, if you look at the preamble and go to the various or the three branches of government, you will reach the realization that the crafters of the Constitution did not ascribe sole exclusionary or imperial power to the executive. Instead, each branch of government is equal, but the legislature has the absolute say. Go to the Constitution of Liberia, read the function of each branch constituting the Liberian government: the executive, the judiciary, the legislative. It is referred to as the first branch of government, not necessarily by order of or alphabetical order or order of importance. No, it is because of its function. It is the pillow on which the country rests. It is the trademark of the country's identity. It is the fulcrum by which the country feels itself as the country. It is the house that determines, by whatever the discussion, the size, the agreement, whatever the magnitude, the final say. So if you look at the three branches of government, it has absolute say. It is not the first branch of government because of order of importance. As I look at it, it is the first branch of government because it has the final say in everything of this country. It can determine the fate of this country. It can determine whether the country will be this way. It can determine whether the president do this or the president does not. Everyone is subject to the legislature, though it's three but coordinate branch of government. So if you use the word imperial, then we can ascribe it to the legislature. But I don't want to ascribe imperial power to the legislature, but I opted to use the word absolute. There's a difference between imperial and absolute. Look up the two of them. The legislature got so much power to the extent that it can alter, it can suspend, it can reject, it can nullify, it can repeal, it does a lot. The legislature, by its function, is a world, W-O-R-L-D. It's a world by itself. I'm not talking about the shady deeds and other things that go on there, as Abochie will reference when Senator Dillon, when Darius Dillon became senator and he was being initiated. When he told him, man, this place here, that different place, you got to live by the whims and caprices of this place. That's not the kind of wall I'm talking about. I am referencing function. To the extent that the legislators are referred to as honorable. That honorific, it is not because the person is a legislator. The honorific is, the ascription is simply a reference for the power, or reference to the power the people place within that senator or representative. Hence, due respect is given. The word honorable is no extra word. I explained this to all of us before. It's no extra word. No, it doesn't give you any extra meaning. It simply means most respectable. It simply means most revered. It is that word or that reference or destination that most of the pastors use. You hear in front of the name, they'll say, you will see R-E-V, reverend. So I can look at a legislator and say, reverend legislator. What I'm saying is most respectable. That's all. It means giving one due respect, revering the person. To revere is to give full respect, so full honor. That's what it is. When you are respecting somebody based on the person's function, you are revering the person. You are respecting the person for who the person is. In this context of the legislature, they are not being respected simply because they are human beings. No, they are respected when they say honorable. They are saying the people's power. It is because of the work that they got to do. It is not who they are by creation. That is why most of them do not know. So when the people calling them honorable, they would think that they are superhumans. It is because of the function. It is not because you are a human being. It is because of the function. That's all that you do. It is because of the work. You are a legislator. You are elected by the people to do the people's work. Therefore, when the people give you that respect, it doesn't say that you are law unto them. 2, that power that the legislature has, they have never ever used it. The reason Liberia has been this way from time to time is because the very legislators have never ever stood up to anything serious in terms of keeping the country on the right path.
To hold on a policy, could we say that too? Hold on policy.
The politicians can say trajectory. So what do you see? With all the powers they have, the president, the executive branch of government, still controls the legislature. The legislature is just in Scarlington. The legislature is a rubber stamp legislature. The legislature, I'm not talking only this one, though, from 1847 till now. That is the reason why Liberia has never ever developed, because they've seconded their power to the legislature, the executive, and they just move around. I'm not talking about the other things, the monetary stuff that what's called. When you have authority and you can use the authority and you think that you should be more sympathetic in everything, you lost your essence, you lost relevance, you diminish your power. So no government no president has ever come to the legislature and saw the legislature or have that fear. In this context, the word fear is used as respect. To respect the legislature. You can respect a person when the person stands up for who he is. So the guys come from time to time, and you see what is happening. The president, they have the right, they make the laws. Look up the function of the legislature. They make laws. They repeal laws. They enact laws. They do a lot more. The president of the country is subject to the legislature. In our country, though our constitution says that, but the president is the one who runs the legislature, even though the constitution says three separate but coordinated branches of government. The president runs the legislature. We know that for a fact. We can cite more than 500 instances here from different presidents and down to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf when she looked at the legislature and said they are a bunch of this, they are a bunch of that. Can you imagine? Is a president, certain president will look at the legislature and use unruly expressions on there, use awful expressions on there. And they sat down there because she used to chunk money. She used to chunk the 5,000, the 10,000, the 15,000. And our legislature, from time to time, has always been a legislature of money. No disrespect to you guys who are there now, but it has come to the point that everybody knows now that the legislature has the power, but the legislature has given its power to the executive and executive user. Dry, can you imagine? Look at the people function. You think a president in a serious country with a serious legislature, you think the president would do what he wishes to do anytime he feels like? So much, the legislature has the power to summon that the president of the country, the president, the legislature has the power when they say this is final, like how they came out. They wrote those. Let's use the 10-year positions, for example. Let's use the 10-year position. They developed those 10-year positions. They enacted.
Like the LTA.
Yeah, they enacted all of those 10-year positions. What do you see? What did you see? The president flouting all of those things. And what you see, the very people who crafted the law, they come out, you know, and they come here, and the president, and the executive, and the chief of government. The people who should say, look, Mr. President, this is what the law says. You need not make any attempt. And if you dare make the attempt, the next thing will be an impeachment bill on the floor to get you out. Look, we joke with governance in this country. That's why the people, the executive, don't respect the legislature. No disrespect to you guys. You guys are great. You guys are doing extremely well.
Yeah.
But history has it that Liberia's problem is the legislature. If the legislature can stand up for what it is by law, if the legislature can stand up on the foundation on which it is built and the power that is giving it, the executive branch of government and other people will not flout any law. They will not disregard the legislature, even if they have bulk of the people in that legislature. They would not. But from time to time, the legislature had been, oh yes, okay, 5,000 coming across. We'll talk to our colleagues. So the legislators are not respected, but that's the atmosphere at the legislature. No, the thing we have seen about that legislature, we can talk all. That same legislature, history has it, they were dividing money. What one of the legislators said in a previous regime, they said that Susu club. Legislature should have Susu club, but they were dividing Kato. They were dividing Kato. Just they can say the general can take Kato. They can take Kato. They own a Kato, they can justify it. They say that inducement. And all of those.
Change the name.
So, yeah. So, I just thought to lay the business this way when Dry come in. Then, I tell you why I lay the business this way. This is the intro. Something unfolded.
And, you know, the legislature, like you said, should be an area that is highly respected. Yeah, it should be an area that is highly respected by for the legislature. But what happens is you will see bulk of our legislators who are to be the direct implementer or the direct representation. You will see them, many of them will not have, you know, that relevant in certain other authorities because they have lost value, like Sam said. Though some of the legislators got very good value, when they appear, people know exactly that a lawmaker has appeared. And they got some when they appear, they only appear, the name is there that the lawmaker has appeared only because the person has been elected. But by functions, that person is an empty vessel. No contribution to the district, no contribution to national policy, no contribution to international monitoring status of the country, no impact. People reviewing law, people passing bill, people, intervening on behalf of their people. Some of them are just there, dumber, and not doing anything, but instead they dare to take their salary and go after all the petty cash that in the legislature, collect their own, so that they flex and ball around Monrovia whole time. On the weekend, they get back to their respective districts, sit down, maybe lecture, I like big boys, The legislature has a responsibility. The responsibility the legislature has and what the responsibility can do for the Liberian is that when they put their feet so strong against some of the petty things that can be seen, the lesser fights that can be initiated at times by the executive, the appointment, president will make. President don't trust the ability of everybody, but some of the appointments comes about recommendation. When you appoint somebody to a ministry or agency, either a minister or director, the lawmakers guard that supreme power to confirm the person or deny the person. In that case, the president will not know exactly how this person has earlier filled in a gap of such position or has the requisite education regarding to such position. But the lawmakers will have to go about doing their fact findings, go through the verdicts, check the person, cross-check the person credential, examine the person as to whether the person fits in the position being appointed to. But many of them will go doing the formality. The person who is appointed to the position is not qualified, is not capable. But once the person has a big hand behind them, the person will be automatically qualified. Some of them go for confirmation, not even still on for confirmation. At the end result, they go to the ministry or the agency. You see them fluttering in the ministry or the agency. Some of them making all kind of flanks statement. Some of them, the functions at the agency will be dumber. That other agency, the term in reference to that agency will be very dumber because the person don't even understand the workings of that ministry or the agency. But because the person got a big hand or had a big hand, that got the person being confirmed to the job. At the end result, instead of the ministry or the agency progressing, it will retrogress. Because the minister or director who has been appointed and confirmed by the legislature to that position does not have the requisite education or status to run the affairs of that ministry or agency. So at the end, you will see more people compromising the interests of the ministry that will kill down the dreams of Liberians and prioritize their personal or private interest. And it's not good that way. The legislature should be able to evaluate anyone who has been appointed by the president being required or submitted or subject to a confirmation. The legislator should go about evaluating, cross-check, and examine the person thoroughly. When the person is competent to serve, you let the person serve. But at times, this will be observed. You see people, they will appoint people, somebody will take telephone and call, and, somebody at the legislature, time to time, like Sam said. We are not only speaking because this is the legislature that we are under their regime at the moment, but these have been things we've been experiencing from former President Salif Day, like he said from 1847. See what happened with doing former President Ellen Johnson Salif time with the Ellis Tyler issue. The executive got the guys fighting each other instead of holding together, uniting together as a horse. Imagine, they say the House of Representatives or the House of Legislature. Instead of them holding together as a horse, they were being divided as horses or rooms. So they started fighting each other. They fought. At the end, the executive won because former President Sally now wanted Talos as speaker. So because of that, she pumped the money. Bulk of the guys are hungry. They will attempt to that to beat the hungry. So they fought each other. After fighting each other, the executive won. And once the executive wins, you know exactly they will not regard the legislature for certain level of time. The only time they will regard you will be when they're ready for you to implement or execute certain things for the executive. So a compromise the interest, a compromise the workings of the legislature. These things are not necessary. They are not good. As a legislature, your entire work should be to protect, the image of the country. Whatever law or policy being crafted by the legislators should be enacted and should be something to protect and improve the standard of our country. But not something like the guys be fighting themselves. Like we started hearing later on, the executive want to pump money in what they got in to fight for Natikofa. The money the executive using to do all of these things. When you guys were together, that money would be diverted for different development. Instead of giving additional, like Yeke said, Joe Mars, exempt people to Joe Mars to go take,
the executive have never ever respected the legislature. Never ever. They know that they can chunk few dollars there anytime. So here is one of the main reasons, as we haven't laid the basis why. Wait, but before then, those of you who have left your comment or commented on this, Yumotro Kringa, who resides in the United States, Minnesota, and is following the show presently, she said, the greatest democracy in the world, the United States, the legislators are not called honorable here. We call them senators and representatives. Then their names. We do not worship our legislators or the president. We hire and pay them. That's the reason when they don't do the job they were elected for by the people, they get fired. The people hold the power in their hands. But you also call corrupt legislators, use you guys as the witch because you. Thank you very much for that comment on this topic, Yumotro Krenga, who is following the show from Minnesota, the United States. So yeah, they call them honorable. And the honorable aren't respected because they have never understood their honorific. So here is it. This has happened from time to time. There isn't anything strange or new in this current government headed by President Joseph Boakai. Everything that we saw in the past was considered wrong, was criticized, happening in this current government. President Joseph Boakai, Vice President with former President Sully for 12 years, saw this happening. They never respected the legislature. He saw awful things between the executive and the legislature. He comes to power and is entertaining those awful things. But you can't blame the president. You can't blame those people who are doing it. You blame the very legislators who got the power, but they will dedicate the power to the executive. The Lebanese minister, this rice issue, very, very contentious issue in this country. No government has ever attempted to play with it, and nobody can ever play with it. The man who manages the commerce and industry of this country, given the heightened tension of the escalation of rice prices, the legislators will take on the matter and pretend to have or want to have solution. The reason I say pretend because of their timing. Probably that's what the law say, that you wait, don't act like a judge because you are not a judge to go be looking for case. Just sit, the case will come to you. Probably that's what the law say. But it is also very significant that you go discretionary. Given the nature of the situation, you use your discretion. If your law said that you have to sit down, let the incident occur, And when it gets so serious, when it comes to you before you speak, fine. But in that same vein, given the situation, how you see it, you put the law aside and you move in with every urgency to rescue the situation. That's what is referred to as discretion. So the guys invited the commerce minister, the Lebanese commerce minister, the white commerce minister. The man had the audacity. The man had the audacity to tell or send word that he wasn't in the country. He wasn't in the country. That he wasn't in the country. When he is in the country, the interim government, that was seen. Charles Taylor came. We saw that. Former President Sally came to power. We saw that. Former President George Weah came to power. We saw that. President Joseph Yima Bouaga comes to power. We're seeing it. So when I tell you that Liberia is a typical society, a mystery society, a society in which everybody does the same thing, but everybody is condemning everybody of not doing what is right. The man had the audacity to say he isn't in the country when he's in the country, because he did not have anything to go and convince the guys. Today, he showed up after the guys got the information that he's in the country. He showed up pretendingly and went and lied to the guys there that he should have traveled. He had a schedule, but it was canceled, so he didn't make the trip again. That's why he is in the country. That infuriated the legislators, and a serious argument went in the legislature. Have a listen.
We want to know from what point of order that our colleague is coming in. You can't just hijack the floor.
Hijacking the floor.
Thank you, I'm a member of the Minister of Commerce, and I have Mr. Roman Reeves, Deputy Minister of Commerce, Benedict Dolo, Deputy Minister for Small Business, Master Jalama, representing the Ministry of Justice.
It's clear that I will not be here because I am traveling.
Yeah. Dixon Sibo got vexed. The man lied to the legislators.
Which he has admitted, but chose not to come, even though he has said that his trip was cancelled. In other words, the minister was here, the minister received a letter that should have brought him to this place. At the time, he should have been out, and he was not out.
Information, nothing there.
Mr.
Give the man chance, man. Give the man chance.
We have observed several. And I will conclude. We have observed several, even including this morning, that the police director who should have been here was not here. His police who came were sent back. This commerce minister, who has had several interactions with us and has proven in time back that he was cooperating, decided to stay away from a very important issue that the lady in Liberia into a farm now is on the mandos for answers on the price of rice. The minister chose to disrespect this man. If he had just traveled, it would have made some sense to me. Howbeit, he sat down in Morocco and another program he claims that is more important than the Liberian people's delegates call. This is not going to go down well with us as the representative of the people, because our people sent us here for us to be able to sit in their places. If this minister can be in another program, refusing to come here, Mr. President, if you allow me, I want to make a motion.
Go ahead.
He denied the merits. Dixon Sibo represented the Dixon Sibo motion was denied because the deputy speaker who is presiding, and he's from CDC, and he started to align with the ruling establishment, knows exactly or knew what Representative Dixon Sibo was going to send across. So immediately he denied. Those of you who know what moderation is, or you have been moderating debate, you know exactly, you sense from the person's presentation, once the person said, I move to make a motion or I want to make a motion, you know from the person's argument. You know exactly. In this case, Dixon Sibo was not going to say, let's sit down and listen to the commerce minister. At least he didn't show up. But since he here now, let's show. No, he was moving to punitive action. He was going to move for a punitive action. And the deputy speaker saw that. So immediately he denied. He denied Dixon Sibo, Representative Dixon Sibo. He said, deny. What they wanted to do was to take an action against this man. But again, it's up to them. They all came and said the legislature, the 55th legislature, will not be a rubber stamp legislature. It will not be a toss and fro legislature. It will not be executive dictated to legislature. They say all of those, we've got most of them on record. Most of them, their recordings are available. Today, they're stooping low. It is up to them. I do not know whether the law said punitive action means incarceration. That means to jail the person. And I don't think jailing can change anything. No. There are other measures they can take. It will be good in the eyes and ears of the public, some part of the public, not the whole, if it is announced that the Minister of Commerce was sent to jail for disrespecting the legislature. They would cheer on, some wouldn't. But in my opinion, it wouldn't suffice to solve the problem. No. But there are other punitive measures available to the legislature that they can activate. Two, it is unto Mr. President and the executive to make a determination or leave it as business as usual, though he said no business as usual, but this is business as usual. The expression no business as usual means what was done in the past by governments, previous government will not happen in my government. So that expression is not only on corruption. If you understood it to mean only on corruption, well, then sorry to say, you need to read and read and read and read extensively. It goes for everything, everything. This is business as usual because we saw, we heard, we read, we talked about it in previous regime. Disrespecting the legislature. So it up to Mr. President. He will have to make a determination. If he thinks nothing wrong with his officials disrespecting the legislature, then we will take away that word coordinate. So we just have 3 branches, but we'll not use the word coordinate. Because to coordinate means respecting each other based on their function, not disrespecting them, not disrespecting each other. Assume that the president will request the presence of a certain lawmakers, and they would deliberately refuse to honor the president's request. How will Mr. President and his people in the executive feel? The last thing you ever want to do in your life is to disrespect people. The most gracious thing you want to be and the greatest legacy you always want to have and leave is to respect people. Not to disrespect them, irrespective of who you are, what power you have, what authority that covers you, or what amount of money you have. So let's see what Mr. President will do. If President Joseph Yuma Boaka really mean that expression, no business as usual, he will take action against the Lebanese minister. He will take action. He will set precedents. You know, when the president sets precedent or take action against the first president, the rest of the ministers will never ever attempt to do that. That way the legislature will have the relevance. They have that relevance by talking about the relevance of respect from the executive. You cannot be a minister in the executive. You in the country, the first branch of government, some of you, and you know that the issue that some of you on is very contagious. Very contentious. You know how important, how grave it is. And then you send word saying you're not in the country when you're in the country. What a blatant lie that warrant action. If you were out of the country, it makes sense as we have seen of other people. If you were out of the country, no problem with that. Like how the Minister of Foreign Affairs is out of the country. So everyone knows. If the legislature summons her, everyone knows. The rest of the guys on the floor will say, but the Minister of Foreign Affairs is out of the country. You table that communication when she comes back, we'll send the communication to her. And it will make sense with everybody in the whole country. But Mr. Minister, Commerce Minister is in the country. No respect to his boss. The first branch of government summon him, which they have the power to do. They don't summon based on hate. No legislator, Senate, House of Representatives hate anybody. But they do their work. When they summon him, it is the work they are doing. You ought not to disrespect them, but rather honor. That one makes you a literate, educated person. Go to them and tell them. They will not beat you. They will not lay you down and give you 25. They will not send you to jail.
In fact, what it does is it helps regulate, the activities of the government. People who maybe couldn't go have the contrary view of leading or
but they just want to know. They just want to know, so they help you solve the problem. That's the essence of going before the legislators. That so they will help you solve the problem.
But when you go there and start to lie, it means you got something on there.
But the man go there, so don't sit right. If you go there, the man did not go. The guy's argument is this man in the country, and he lied that he wasn't in the country. When he realized that the guys were about to take action again, then he showed up surreptitiously. with another blatant lie that he should have traveled, I think, to Gambia where, and the trip was canceled. You sit down over there, if that man bully you do every check. You do every investigation. We are in the world of technology. If somebody say they graduated from Morehouse University, you can sit down right there and know. It's as simple. So if the man said he should have gone to Gambia or what country for a meeting, you do the check. If that gathering doesn't exist, nothing of such, he wasn't. Even if it was canceled, it's as simple. Go back and tell the people, send a communication. Immediately, if the meeting is canceled, what will you do? Literacy calls for immediately sending a communication that honorable legislators had earlier been appointed somewhere for XYZ. However, at the 11th hour, it was canceled. I am now informing you guys of my presence. Therefore, I look forward to an arrangement. That means these legislators now will arrange. They will have no problem. But you know how many hours in between? That guy is a conning level needs. But you can blame that. You can blame that too. Let's move to
the legislature will have to be serious on how they go about checkmating. You know, many of these.
But that's why we started by talking about the law. So Liberians here will know that the people have extra powers. The people have extra power. They have the power to set this country straight, to set standard in place. They have everything within the right. You think they call them first branch of government because they are first, without counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No. 0770-907-907. 0770-907-907. 0776 36 40 45. 0886 673 922. The numbers to have your say on the show. Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Morovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Kakata Magibi County, Voice of Liberia 90.7, Bon County.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, your name, where you come from?
Yeah.
Your name? Zero 0770-907-907. 0770-907-907. 0770-907-907.
If you're finding it difficult to come through on 077-0907-907, you got 0886 673 922 0776 36 40 45.
Hello?
Hello.
Your name and where you come from?
I'm Lincoln, my senior. I call from a fellow resident.
Yeah, let's hear you, Link.
What we're in with Jeff, but you see, our lawmaker who will elect instead of a rebel decision, sometimes they can be bribed by the guy. So the man is ready to pay for after that. Going in serious and this thing can go. And I expect my president, I put up for President to see serious action on that minister.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you made your point. Hello? 0770-907-907. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, your name and where you come from? Your name and where you come from? Hello? I'm fine. Your name and where you join us from?
I'm calling from
Your name?
Brother, you see this thing that you're talking about, the first pension fund,
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you come from?
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel calling from Brian Speak.
Yeah, let's hear you, Emmanuel.
Yes, concern about the issue. Let me tell you,
President Baga will not change animal that because animal and President Baga did it the chief of the cartel. No animal that collect money from the friends, the only brother there who is on the Baga. So they have to pretend.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Your name, where you come from?
Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah, let's hear you.
I'm That's this is a war who read it like higher broadcast. And made some action with the both of them. What I have to continue on, not having the country there.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Hello? Please go away from the radio.
Yeah, people, I appreciate your sacrifice this afternoon. But the issue of refusing to appear before the legislature is I will also say that the legislature are a problem for this country. See, most of the guys, the House of Representatives, got basically money where they got factories and other things. So at the end of the day, the commerce minister also we don't favor from the commerce minister. So at the end of the day, they will not cut down half on the angle of the commerce ministry and other agencies of government. So if you can't have the minister, you can't have your business ahead. They don't want this to happen. So I know just be putting with the Liberians more, but the left person they want to are, telling the bring up time during the election, the time and go for. So that's my view.
Thank you. Hello? Hello? Yeah, your name, where you come from?
Oh, thank you. My name is Oliver Waja. I'm joining this time from the community.
Let's hear you.
All right, thank you. Andrew and I just heard you guys saying it's important to take action against the commerce minister, Amimola. We are saying will not happen. Because Amimola, the step for the second. So he's one of those who is destroyed by Kwaga. So any step Amimola says, Kwaga support it. In a given state, we have government. Because sometimes they speak, they speak friendship over the social interest. You have Amimola that is increasing rights and the detriment of all Liberian people, taking bribes from $11 to increase arrest on Liberian people. Then you get the message communication that is not factual. Somebody is there to want to. I'm expecting somebody say I want to move a second. What kind of second you want to obtain? I think it's very hard for our lawmakers.
Thank you. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, my name is Sanga, and I call from Mutu.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, brother, let me be frank with you. The thing about the House of Representatives, not of the Senate, and this country problem, the issue about this country rely on those people, but let me be very frank with you. There are people in there that do not know their function, bro. People have reduced the issue about lawmaking to building toilets, buying jerseys for the community, giving so much to the market women. And when you ask most of those guys on policy issues as per their function, so they can explain anything to you. So all they think about is people go to the house there with the motive of, just getting something, making sure that whatever will come, whether it is good, it is bad, it is in the interest of the country or not, they're going to take it, come back to the community about justice for the poor. They think that's the job. That's how they think. But that is not the job. But we cannot, because we are the same people who will take those guys for though they are not doing anything they do not understand the job. We want to give them the job. We cannot take it back from them. We see the man is going wrong and we will teach you to deal with them. What people can enter that place, we will just continue to sing the same song.
Thank you. Hello?
For us all in July, let me see how to sing. This is not far falling from the fire. The visual impaired God that you put in for that to the fire to deliver. When we were in school as far as phase 3, we were told that the legislature branch make law and they also provide oversight. But when these guys are elected and go in the house, they forget to know that we that voted for them, we send them there so that they can able to provide the oversight and represent our interest. That's why you are talking about minister of law. If they don't make this guy, who will do it? They are the ones that do it. But how can they do it? When the executive is about to send from legislature or instrument to them to act on it, they are expecting something behind it. So when they expect something from the executive to be carried out certain function.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Please go away from your radio.
Yeah, thank you. You got me?
Yeah, you live. Your name and where you come from?
This is Mr. Katina, Upper Kawa, calling for Katina Avenue. Thank you very much. You know, I listened to even Mr. Bilete last night. You know, I like somebody like Bilete. I'm a physician. But we got bulk of those guys that in the house there. To me, they are not doing their job. So let me talk to this guy who just got the line, question about the city that we were. The first branch of customers, they had the power to do everything that will bring transparency and all things within the country. But our people that are there, they are only concerned about, money. They are not serving the interests of the Liberian people. Yeah, the way I listened to Baka Abu, last time, 2 to 5 persons in a house, multi-pressures education, talking about the money business. You have to do something for the future of your children and the country.
Okay, Chief. Thank you. All right, that's all the time. Thank you for spicing up this one. That's how it is. That's the legislature from time to time. That's what it is. It is purely typical. Just as we've got a typical Liberian society. Too many things. There are a couple of factors. Let me share them with you quickly. Why the legislature is not functioning as the way. One, friendship. Everybody knows everybody. Friendship comes into the job. They bring friendship into the job. You saw it during the confirmation hearing. Some of them justify. They bring friendship into the job. As much as the friendship or if people are friends, but when it comes to the function of the country, there is no friendship. Let me give you a simple example. You see those guys whom we watch on the football, on the screen? Those guys are friends, all of them. They move along. But when they get in that tunnel, it's no friendship. It's no friendship. But they know each other. But majority of them are friends, good friends. But once they get on that, you see them in that tunnel, they put friendship aside because they have a responsibility to fulfill. And they will impute no mediocre approach into it. The second thing that I have seen about that legislature, they favor the executive to the extent that they see themselves as less powerful in terms of function, and the executive is powerful. Within that same vein, they hailed the president more. They praise the president, they talk about the president more than they can talk about the issues. You hear expressions like this. Oh, the president wants this, and this country, we got to develop this country. We can't disrespect the president. When you start to make those kinds of statements, you know what you're doing? You are idolizing. You are idolizing the president and the executive. You, as legislators, should not be praising Mr. President, but rather to ensure that Mr. President does what is right because it is your responsibility, and he got a responsibility. That's why he took an oath, not unto himself, but to the people. And that is why the two branches of government set the stage for the president to take the oath. Without the two branches of government, or the two branches, sorry, the two houses convening, without the two houses convening called the joint session, Mr. President can never ever take the oath of office. So you should not be praising Mr. President. Tell Mr. President what he ought to do as per your function and your authority to say to him. When Mr. President officials disrespect you got the power to tell Mr. President to chasten his people, taking the beast of disrespect out of them and impute common sense, page 1, into them. The legislators, you have that right. The third thing I have seen, why legislature has not been respected in this country from 1847 now. I say 1847 because I wasn't born, I know, but history is available. History is available. Francis Bacon say reading and reading and reading makes a ready man. And if you want to move far and good in life, make history a part of your life. The third thing that I've seen of the legislature, why the executive has never ever respected them, money. The first one is friendship. The third, they praise, so much praises and honor they give to the executive as if they don't have the power or they're working for the executive. The third thing I have seen over the years of my observation of Liberia's governance system, money. That is why the executive, headed by Mr. President, has never ever been afraid to chunk money over there. Because they have never ever been resistive of money. They will know that certain amount of money is wrong to receive, but they will justify. They will use portion of the law and say it's inducement fee, it is legislatively right, and all of those. That is why Ellen insulted the legislature on her hall. She insulted them real good, they got vexed. And the relationship became sour, so much so that they left pretty close to, I think, 36 or 60 bills unpassed. She dealt with them. You know why? Because they stooped so low. These are the three things. All right. So let's move to the next issue. If you're on smartphone, if you're on the internet rather, enjoy it now. Enjoy it now. If you have enough data, enjoy it now. Do whatever you can. Do whatever you can now, all the way up to 12 midnight. According to the Liberia Telecommunications Corporation, there will be a shutdown. Daniel Kume, thank you for coming on. But this is the reality, yeah? This is the reality, Daniel Kume, and the legislators themselves, they know. So the Liberia Telecommunications Authority will come out with this announcement that as of 12 tonight or this morning, tomorrow morning, communication will be off. That means you will not be able to access the internet. So hear what they said. The Cable Consortium of Liberia announces that ACE Submarine Cable Network is scheduled to perform repair work. Is scheduled to perform repair work on a segment of the optic fiber cable between Dakar and Abidjan, which is segment 2.1 of the ACE submarine cable network that connects Liberia to the outside world. LTA went further to say, the scheduled repair will be performed on May 31st to May 31st, 10 hours duration. During these repair hours, LTA said all internet traffic transiting ACE segment 2.1, including traffic from Monrovia, Abidjan, Freetown, Conakry, and Banjul to Europe will be down. D-O-W-N, down, means it will not be functioning. So if you put your internet on and everything bouncing back, don't damage your phone. Don't carry your phone to the repairer. Don't complain. Those of you who think that throughout you should listen to music and not information, well, some of you going to experience it. You put your phone on, want to browse, and you will not get anything. So they concluded by saying the Cable Consortium of Liberia Business Office and technical staff will be available to provide you, meaning us, consumers, subscribers, with answers to any concerns relative to what the action they have taken. So from 12 o'clock tonight, even though they say 1 minute after 12, but take it at 12. From 12 o'clock tonight, the internet will be off until 10 tomorrow morning. That's what they say, until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you don't get it, well, then that's it. Or if you're browsing and nothing happening, you just checking your phone and you're complaining, well, then you will go through it. But that's what they said, that the internet connectivity in Liberia is expected to be affected tomorrow. Tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow. May 31st, tomorrow, 12 o'clock. It will be that way until 10 a.m. in the morning tomorrow, because they will be carrying out repair works. So this one ain't no politics. It's just information. Be on the alert. If you put your phone on and after 12 o'clock and you don't get anything, like some of us who can stay up to 1, 2, 3, after we finish studying, finish doing our research work, we go to our biblical side and studying all the way up to 2:33, sometimes 3:30, then we're getting ready to come. Don't complain that it is your phone. Don't take the phone to a phone repairer. Leave it as it is. LT8 said from 12 o'clock in the morning, from 12 midnight to 10 a.m. in the morning. It's as easy. The timing is good because after 12 o'clock, what are you doing again? You're lay down and sleep. When you wake up, the internet on. So I won't have anything. Yeah? Okay, very shortly we'll have our guests in to begin our discussion. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Kakata Magibi County, Voice of Liberia 90.7, Bon County. Very shortly, we'll talk with the group from Art and Innovation Liberia. Okay, so much. Life is all about knowledge. Very shortly, we start the conversation. You're listening to Bits and Pieces. So that will be doing it. So you don't bother. I beg you. LTA made it simple. At that time, all of us sleeping. So you need internet. You don't got to worry. It's not in a day. They say from 12 o'clock in the night to, because 12 here we can say 12 midnight. So, but it's a.m. So from that time, from 12 a.m. all the way to 10 o'clock, at TSA there will be no internet because the people will be working, so you want to take break. The same way sometimes you can be calling and say, oh, but what happened the station are on? So just say the people working. The people can be working, then you get the thing they're working on is for you to get internet. If the internet on and it's working, you'll be having problem and you'll be complaining the same way. All right? So I beg you, yeah? Y'all understand it that way. It's simple. I'm not batting that. I want no politics inside. Okay. All right. Our guests in. Okay. Yes. Very shortly we'll start the conversation. So LRRC did something that they should not have done. They did something they should not have done. 750 Liberians in the country, having stayed in Bunjubura refugee camp for several years, and their time expired because the condition for which the Ghanaian government had taken them in no longer exists. So the government tried to get them back through diplomatic arrangement. The first batch came. The LRRC boss, Patrick Woolsey, had the audacity to face the whole world. Standing before the camera will move with such bad characterization, awful characterization. Listen, there's a difference between having a real knowledge and a political position. Most of the people that go and face the microphone just because of the political position, they are excited, a minister, director, that's all. You find yourself in certain situations with certain responsibility. And given the sensitivity of that situation, you can go to the public and make certain characterization. Already, the people are traumatized. The fact that they stay over there on their own after the period the period expired. The Ghanaian government said you're on your own. Moreover, we have spoken with the government of Liberia. You people will start packing now because we want to develop this area. That alone is a trauma, and the people started thinking how to get back to Liberia. A lot more started to run through their mind. So that's trauma right there. Fast forward, the government did well by reaching an agreement with the Liberian government. They brought the first 750. Just to move from Accra, Ghana, in transit into where they are sheltering, another trauma. Moreover, they come in with a number of things on their mind. Then the LRRC boss had the audacity, which in my opinion he should not have. Say the people, they are drug addicts. If you did your screening and the people, from your screening, the people are drug addicts, you are not to say it publicly. If you got people who are homeless, don't have, like they say, 183, no parents, no children, no parents, 83, no families, that means adult. There is a way you can play around it because you have the solution, you know how you're going to solve it. But you can't come to the public and say, majority of the people that came from Ghana, those Liberians are drug addicts. When you already have bulk of them here, the government is grappling with them. They are a serious lynch on society. Society too is traumatized by the ones that are here. Then you increasing the already existing trauma by telling the people that majority of the 750 Liberians that came, they are drug addicts. That was wrong. That was wrong on the part of, or wrong by the head of LRRC. Okay, LRRC, he should not have done that. He should not have done that at all. But that's political position now, so they can just talk. Once they face the media, they feel that they can say anything. That man, listen, President Bouaga needs to be very, very, very circumspect on some of his ministers. He needs to listen to some of the public addresses they gave him. Some of them constitute dismissal or suspension. LRRC boss, in such a traumatic situation of the people, then you say drug addicts? Even if you know the people are drug addicts, there's a way. Look, sorry if I'm sounding racist, but I've never sounded racist. But racism exists. The way people even say black say white. They will never, the man will never stand before the cameras and the microphone and say these people are drug addicts or majority are drug addicts. They will find another way. You know why? Because the public, they will be thinking how the public will receive that, especially when they are already grappling with their situation, that majority of the people who are on the ground are drug addicts. Simple. But you just stand before the people. Majority of those we brought from Ghana, they are drug addicts. Anything saying something good. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll talk more on that after our guests leave. They got 1 hour. So it's 4:30. Yeah, at 5:30. They will be leaving. They are from the Art and Innovation Liberia. I think they're about to launch the Secretariat and books on drug education for schools. This is a very good initiative. Two of them are in Bala Aski, Director of Secretariat, and Patrick A. Chia, Director of Program. Gentlemen, welcome to Voice of Liberia 104.1, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Kakata Magibi County, Voice of Liberia 90.7, Monrovia. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. We'd like to say thanks to our sponsor, of course, our well-wishers, also our partner, Ome Sim-Sion, as we have started working together, being part of the solution for societal psychosocial issues, trying to find a way around it so that we can design, programs to raise awareness, so as to address some of the psychosocial issues. So we are thankful to God. We are thankful to God today that we are here.
And you are the president, director.
Yeah, director of programs.
Yeah, it's good that you're using director. Is it president? Everybody president.
Yeah. I'm the director of programs.
Yeah. Okay. Very good initiative. But why the nomenclature, Art and Innovation?
Okay. So it all began with the idea of innovation, because I am from the RCT background, and when this whole thing started, it started with passion, the passion for society, the passion for the youth. How will the next generation of youth be? The next generation of leaders be in Liberia? Prior to the active workings of other innovation Liberia, I used to draft a drama, script, and gather some young women and young men together and train them so as, to raise awareness through the drama. I did this for some time, then I sat down analyzing our society today, the youth, because most times when I used to go to maybe take tea, I used to be at the Banjo Junction. When I go take tea to the Fuller Man place, look at the youth, bunch of youth discussing things that are not meaningful.
You were selling tea?
No, the Fuller Man tea. When I go to take tea.
To go drink tea.
To go drink tea.
Yeah, all of us were there.
I used to see, group of boys just gather, discussing some things that are not educated. So I used to call them, sensitize them, try to change their mindset and things. So the passion of, for our next generation of leaders started a long time. So then I decided to do a thorough research on how to begin to write books. So this is not the first book. We wrote So Going Society. We wrote The Pathway to Reintegration Society. And we wrote Society and Integration Studies. And of course, it was right here at this Voice of Liberia. They gave us 30 minutes one day, one early morning, 30 minutes. So we are we are very much appreciated to Voice of Liberia because this is the second time they are hosting us. Of course, we are here to work with institutions into making sure that the problem we have in our society today be addressed. Thank you very much.
Let's hear from Patrick. Let's have your introduction, then we move to
Bishop.
Askia.
Yeah, Palaski. Bishop Palaski.
Bishop.
He's a bishop, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been messing on the phone. It's a very big man.
I know.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to be grateful to the Almighty God that we are here again. This morning we were on the Freedom event, and we bless God to be here again to propagate the message of just education and how we can help in transforming our society. Like tomorrow will be the launching of the Secretariat and also the launching of the books. So we are here basically today to create that awareness, so that the program tomorrow can be a grand one. So we are yet to give some insight of what will be happening tomorrow at the Memorial City Hall. The Secretariat will be launched basically because we want to create what we call, there are a lot of psychosocial issues we have in our society, you see, and those psychosocial issues need to be dealt with because there are a lot of people, young people who are traumatized. Like the director was saying, if you look at our society today, there are many reasons why the young people are going wayward. There are many reasons why they are involved into criminal activities. You see, some of those things are, some of them were going to school, they don't have sponsors, they drop out of high school. Some of them early early marriage, some of them, early mother or early parents. And they don't have the support, they don't have the hands. As a result, they are going wayward. So these people they are our responsibility because as the society grows, everybody's problem. And if we keep having those bad guys in the society, it becomes a problem for us. And I believe that some of them, they are now intentionally involved into criminal activity, but because of their condition, so some of them have to join the criminals, they have to involve into all kinds of things. So basically, we are here to call on everywhere, meaning Liberians who want to transform our society today, that we need to fight against the issue of drugs and the issue of immorality in our society. That's why we are here.
Now, you want to explain, give a graphic picture, Mr. Director, how you're going to do it because you've got these people all over.
Okay.
And probably you have
Yeah.
done it. You have you've done a diagram
Yeah.
or a demarcation, the place you're going to pick them up from, or how you're going to get into the place. You just explain how you're going to do the intervention.
Okay. So basically, what we have done, we have developed a lot of programs, and it starts from partnering with institutions because we cannot do it alone. This is a collective, project, so to speak. We have identified institutions, for instance, the land ministries already. The LDEA has been identified as one agency that will be, we should work along with. Of course, the Ministry of Health. Just recent time, we did a presentation at the Ministry of Health, specifically in the Department of the Health Unit, for which they themselves will be with us tomorrow. And we are also partnering with the Ministry of Education. For us, with the at-risk youth, now we have been going to ghettos, the Darky Black, the Fear Water near LEC, I'm talking about the Bushro Island, Kofi, and some ghettos around. We have been doing all these ghettos, even before the first book could be launched. We marched with these people right before the Gabriel Tucker Bridge. We came up, right to Spoke Commission, and we launched, and people came, stakeholders came and talked to these people. They told us, they said, brother, they said, we are tired. They said, we want to learn, we want a career, that we can learn. We're tired of this life. So in fact, we did a t-shirt for them. We said, I'm tired of ghetto life. I need career training support. So when you see on a book that during the president's, inauguration ceremony, he did a speech. One thing, brother, we always want to be part of the solution, that will bring sanity to our society. The president regime, when the president came, he made a pronouncement. So, he said, first thing, I will fight hard for me to take a drug test with my vice president, and which he did. So then he said he will fight hard to take drugs from these people, the children, try to, and then he did that with the appointment of, the honorable man, Abraham Kroma, which everybody was happy. So, oh yeah, drug, and it started going all around. So now with this one, we put ourselves into it. We said, well, all we fight this drug here. And sitting before you, we are here today to place a national call to every well-meaning Liberian, all Liberians to come on board. Now, you were talking about graphical representation as to how the roadmap to achieving our goal. Now, when you see on our book, the declaration that was made by the president, we have what we call the training center. Mm-hmm. From the ghetto, there should be some, bio-data collection of which training each of these of our brothers will be able to do. Whether they want to do, carpentry, they want to do a masonry, they want to do, become a mechanic or whatsoever. We have what we call training center. Then we have what we call industrial learning. This industrial learning are broken down into several industrial learning. From there, we have what we call mechanic. They may choose to be a mechanic. From there, we get graduation. Now, after graduation, there is what we call the integration component. Yeah. That component of being integrated back to the society, all of those things are explained within the book. We have profiled 6 steps. Yes, brother, you want to come in?
So, how many persons? You got a number, a targeted number, or it cuts across all those you considered?
Yes.
Zogos?
Now, there are types of, in fact, everybody in the ghetto is not considered Zogo. We only got to know when we started dealing with our brothers. There are people who are in a habit, who when you see, you will not even call them
But that
Zogo.
expression typically in Liberia means drug, well, a person who is on drug, a drug addict.
People who is on drug. But now, for me, those they are referring to as Zogos are those who don't really take care of themselves. Who when you see when they come near you, you feel inconvenient. who are at the fair parking lot
Yeah.
and thing, when they collect money, they go take drug.
Yeah.
You understand? But there are people who on a daily basis go down there. Like for instance, Ducky Black in Nikutan. People leave from the houses, they go clean clothes, they take their thing from there, they go to they just need that setting, that gathering. We used to go there. We used to talk to them. And one of the guys that got had our place, having a place, he walked to us. He said, man, 18 here, you got to take it easy. Or sometimes you're going to say, okay, when you take the quantity today, tomorrow you take the other quantity, just for a business on the clothes. But we used to go there and talk to our brothers that this life is not good the way you're going. You understand? So basically today, as the program is tomorrow, it is hard time for us to tell the people that, these people live with us in the community.
How many persons you got on mind to take care of, to train? How many persons?
Okay, like for us, as an organization, we have 4 focal areas. We have career training development. We are ICT trained. And some of the career training may not be done with us, by partners. Yeah. That's why we are partnering with institutions, other institutions that could do vocational training and things. So all what we have been doing, we have been, advocating for support. So for instance, we have what we call for us now as an institution, we have a lab, a computer lab, for which we have been advocating for the advancement of this computer lab. And even tomorrow, we will be advocating that people should donate.
You got computer lab?
Yeah, computer lab.
When?
We are situated specifically at the Douala, Bush Road Island, right before the Lone Star's office, opposite the Lone Star's office,
yes,
where you have the Dream Computer School.
What's the capacity? How many persons?
How many persons? Yeah, like 10 persons. You understand? 10 persons. And most of our letters that were going around, in fact, we had this computer because we're advocating for scrap computers, that we could put the scrap computer together and train the boys. In fact, first training was targeted at 150 persons.
Does a person who is on drug need a computer education? In essence, will he or she see it as anything convenient to give time, attention to when the person is on drugs?
Yes, and one thing I would tell you, brother, everybody is listening to us. Getting somebody out of drugs requires stage. It's a stage by stage, intervention.
Yeah.
It also brings into being counseling. It brings into being prayer. There's a spiritual aspect of this.
Yeah.
This is the reason why we have pastors, we have, other men of God, and we are now trying to train our people through the professional, clinical, mental health counseling development. So the idea about engaging anybody, mental health counseling, you should be able to put yourself into their shoe and tell them that is not the end of their life.
Yeah.
Okay? So once that mental instability has been resolved, you bring the person to the restoration, restore the mental faculty.
Yeah, we have it.
You understand? So bit by bit, they will be having interest in what you want to tell them about, maybe computer training, about this, because you'll be telling them that, you see that person's life? That person did this, he did this, he did that. So they said, okay, can I do this? Once that person has a mental stability, they will try to do that.
Let's move to Patrick.
No.
You,
Bishop?
Bishop. The man in your position.
So you call him director?
Director. Bishop.
You call him director?
Yeah. So, what's the theme? Every program, every launch has a specific idea called theme that the people read into, and it explains the intent. What is it that you have? What's your theme for this year's launch?
Yes, the theme is a book we're launching. There is on the book. Yes, is on the book. A national call for all Liberians to join the fight against drugs and substance abuse. It's a national call, so that's the theme we have for this year, a program.
And the venue?
The venue is at City Hall. Tomorrow is the program at 12 o'clock. So that's why we are here to make the awareness
to call on all Liberians to be part of that program to support. Like you were talking about the training capacity, we also calling on partners to help us to get a spatial area where we can take more than 25%.
Yeah.
You know, so we also, that's why we are calling on partners and other well-meaning Liberians to help this water cause.
And the guest speaker is?
The
keynote speaker?
Is Abraham
the
Krumah.
DEA boss?
Yeah, DEA boss. He's supposed
Yeah, but we learned that
why
we
you
learned that he's going out.
Why you opted for the DEA boss?
Yeah, because
and not the usual thing that people do in Liberia.
Like what?
The president to go and speak.
You know, brother, we are skillful and experienced people. You know, we came in back to the country to contribute.
You went for the DEA boss because he is the one
Dealing
who is managing that sector.
specifically that sector.
There are other keynote speakers. If you look at
there are other guest speakers.
That's the entire program.
We have a lot of guest speakers. Even the mayor will be one of our guest speakers.
Yeah.
Sam Sion is one of our guest speakers.
Yeah.
Okay. There are other ministers, you know, the Minister of Health, Minister of Education. These are all guest speakers.
Yes.
But the keynote speaker, you know, is Ibrahim Krumah. But brother, let me just tell you something. You know, this
so you didn't say specifically the number of persons you are targeting. It is not possible to get all of the Zogos
you can't get all of them.
or let's say drug addicts or those who want drug.
Yeah.
So you got a specific number and specific target areas like Douala, Oro, Central Monrovia.
Okay, so you see, we have been on a Bushel Island and we have been targeting specifically the ghettos on the Bushel Island. To tell you the truth, we have what we call targeting marginalized areas, you know, because usually the youth, those youth that are engaged in those habits, they are usually at the, you know, at the slum areas where they are, you know, or deserted areas. So we have been targeting those areas, identifying them, and then taking them, talking to them, because there was a time, in fact, we were doing rigorous, you know, engagement. So we're moving from one ghetto to another, and we even have a documentary on it before we could launch the program. So, like for instance, sometimes we target 50 persons, you understand, to undertake our school our program. We have what we call this community engagement. They fall under the community engagement, and we also have our school engagement. The school engagement, we have a program, a special program called SEMD, Student Education, Advocacy, and Moral Drive. Okay, so under the SEMD program, we bring into, you know, the particular operation of the institution, maybe our organization, you know, teaching drug education in school, and we have been doing that. From this book that we launched, the first book that we had, the Moral and Society Integration Studies, we have been using that book to teach moral lessons in school, and that book was not placed into chapters. But this one now, we have put all of these into chapters, and we have discussion questions, and now we are going to launch 3 moral stories. Okay, we have 3 moral stories apart from this book. We have another textbook that is titled "Building Character, you know, and Moral Values of Children for Integrity in Society." Okay, so as an institution, we have what we call the publication department.
So you're targeting 10,000, 5,800 persons?
Okay. For now, we are targeting 150 persons. You understand? 150
from specific
persons for specific communities. And we targeted.
And what are those communities?
Like the, let's say, the Nugutan community, you understand, like the Baraswa community, like the, you know, the Popo Beach community, you understand, like the Simple Beach community, all on the Bushel Island.
You're going to reach each ghetto in those areas.
In those areas, you understand, and talk to them, bring them, and tell them the opportunity that is there for them. Okay, because
Do you know that each of those communities has about 150, 200 ghettos? You can reach all?
No, 200 ghettos. Actually, in reality, we have not checked 200 ghettos within one community.
There was just an
maybe you can get
estimation.
an estimation, but we can get about, from 1 to 10.
It depends
from
how
1 to 10
big is the
ghettos in
community.
population.
Yes.
Yeah, let's use Nukutan as a case reference.
Study.
Yeah,
but
Nukutan
alone
is large.
Yeah, it's very large. Nukutan alone has Popo Beach. Nukutan alone has Douala. Nukutan alone, because when you from Bomas Bridge, say, welcome to the borough of Nukutan, all the way to Simple Bridge. So we have Momotan West, Momotan East. Everything in Nukutan, Kuwait, all in Nukutan. Pierre Factory, Trefan, all in Nukutan. Yeah. So let's say, for instance, we can target about 50 ghettos. 50 ghettos, then it's a good number. It's a good number of youth that we'll be targeting. But we have our target already from 100, 150. So now all of them will be going for computer training, because for me, I did hardware.
Only computer training?
Not only computer training. Those training that we will not be able to give to them, because we are partnering with other institutions. Through our advocacy, now we send them there.
What are the trainings? What are those you are or you will be offering?
Okay.
The ones that you have within your reach.
Yes, the ones that we have within our reach. We start first with computer hardware and electronics. From computer hardware, basic, assembling of computer, disassembling of computer. From there, the parts of computer, all of those parts, put them together and try to get it working. You understand?
That's one aspect.
That's
beyond
one aspect.
The computer,
yeah.
Beyond the computer studies. Any other area?
Yeah, there are other areas within it, because
just
computer study.
Run through them so your audience will know.
Yeah. Number one, we have what we call networking. Okay, it's different from hardware, because hardware is all about standalone computer. Networking is about connected devices. Now we have computer security. Computer security, cyber security. Cyber security, it has to do with what? Internet productivity. Internet productivity, let's take, for instance, software packages, beginners courses, intermediate, and advanced.
All of these things in
computer science.
So
he's saying that apart from
optional,
that,
if the person isn't interested going that route,
now,
is there anything that any other that the person can pursue?
Maybe tailoring,
as life career,
so making,
the ghetto.
Yes, that's what I told you. That those that we are not offering, because we have partnership, and also we are doing advocacy, we now put them to the institutions that are doing it. Yeah, we have our partners.
So you've got your priority is computer science.
Our priority is computer science, but it does not stop there. When they choose a vocational area or specialized area that we are now offering, that we can assist them with, we now link them to our institutions that will be able to help them. But at the end of the day, we make sure and we ensure that they have the proper training.
Who are the partners? Mr. Director, explain your partners. Who are they?
Some of our partners are those who are involved in the very venture that we are in. We can link with them, to help us in the process.
Who are they, or what are some of them?
The Crown Suburb is one of our partners.
Minister of Health.
Minister of Health. When we went
Minister
there,
of Education.
they assure us that they can help us in the area of training. Minister of Health, Minister of Education.
Yeah.
And we are also praying that Minister of Education will accept.
For instance, I'm not calling one from your mouth. The USAID gave us 3 websites to be checking there for our grant. Already we are rating 1 or 2 proposals. By the grace of God, we shall be getting, some other funding. So we are not just like sitting down, government, no. We are also reaching out.
Your organization have done the survey already.
Survey, we're already working with the youth already, the ghettos already.
You've done the survey of those areas.
Of those areas that we intend to help the youth. We have done it already. With the targeted persons. With the targeted persons.
And you're going to get started with those after the launch, or you have started already?
Now, what we are doing, our work is in phases, okay? We are about to launch this drug education in school because we are already working with schools. That one will come after we have got sufficient equipment, because we need to advance our lab. Then we can start that project, okay? But primarily is to launch drug education in school. That is our focus presently, and we have the number of schools that we are working with on the Bushel Island. School at New Era, school at Trinity Methodist, school at Daniel E. David, school at AGM, all these schools, that schools that we're working with. For instance, Bracomi, Greater Vision, these are schools we're working with. We're working with Tibet, but Tibet is now like having smaller issue.
Yeah.
You know, or looking at Central High. Understand? These are schools we have done presentations with. When you go on our Facebook, you will see all the presentations we have done in the various schools. Look at the schools here. The Fuller United, right behind Daniel E. David. There's a Fuller United there, Fuller School there. We've done presentation there. You understand? So when you go to Innovation House, you will see me, in a coat, and even when the commissioner, National Elections Commission, certificated us to take part within the voter, process and thing awareness. Yeah, so we have done a lot for the public.
You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia, 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia, 89.7 Kakata, Magabi County, Voice of Liberia, 90.7, the online radio in which you can follow the show from wherever you are around the world, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com on this 30th day of May 2024. With me in St. Andrews, my guests are Bala Aski, Director of Secretariat, Patrick Chia, Director of Program. From Art and Innovation Liberia, they will be launching their Secretariat and book on drug education for schools on tomorrow at the Monrovia City Hall. You talk about most of the drugs, if not all. The latest Cooch, and you went on, there are several I see in your book, but it's surprising to me. I'm just seeing this one called Brown.
Okay.
Is it a drug?
It's a drug.
Explain that.
Yeah, Brown is a narcotic drug.
Brown.
Yeah, it's a narcotic drug.
It's in Liberia?
It's in Liberia. And it is actually used to relieve, severe pain. But our boys go into the pharmacy before now, because it was not restricted. They would take a lot, they would buy a lot of those to make their system numb. And as everybody listening to me, I will be doing a motivational speech tomorrow about drugs. The title, Drugs is Destroying Liberia's Next Generation of Leaders, and urgent attention is required. Basically, drugs is a substance that contains chemical, which taps into the brain's communication systems and disrupt the way nerve cells processes, receives, and sends information. So now, how does drug destroy the communication system? In two ways. Number one, it actually, stimulates the brain chemical, natural chemical messengers. Number two, it overstimulates the reward circuit of the brain. So when that happens, understand, the person now is out of his senses. He does things unknowingly, whole lot of things. So drug is the most reactionary substance, of recent. That is why characteristically we have categorized drug as being what? Destructive, retrogressive, unproductive to the growth of society. DRUGS, drugs. So tomorrow, by the grace of God, I will be doing a motivational speech to our people, to our guests about drugs specifically that we have been dealing with. In the book there, we have done enough research about drugs and their effect. All of those drugs, the Kush, how Kush came about, and when you take Kush, what Kush can do to your brain. Even marijuana, cocaine.
What it does, what Kush
it
does.
It makes you to be drowsy. That's a commonest thing that Kush can do to you. Drowsy, when you say drowsy, TROW, SY, draws it like you are sleeping, like you are not, you are like this. That's why when they take it, when they walk in, you know what happened to me? I went to do some awareness with the last book that we published. Read the water, sir. The boy just passing it. Holding a private, get it passing it. Let it.
Walking, sleeping.
Everybody see it. He said,
and you think they will fall.
Then when I look around, I swear to God, I said, what? They said, my man, the how they looking here. I said, what? So the drugs issue, the engagement, the community awareness program, we have seen a lot. Some places you go, you pray for Liberia. Some places you go, brother, because you have a child, you have brothers, and you have your sister's children, and you have other children. Can you imagine that? This drugs is creating what we call a labor force gap. Who will replace the next generation of leaders? Maybe people in other, area sectors. You want foreigners to come work here for Liberians? So this is the reason why we are now saying, let everybody come on board. This is drug education in school. People leave their children and they say they go to school. At the end of the day, when the children go to school, do you actually know whether your child is reading to school? So we have 3 moral stories. Those stories are very fun for students. I have what we call my advice for the younger generation. I have what we call my last advice. Yes, my last advice. And the 3 moral story, number 1, my guide to a successful future. How can you be, that exceptional personality in society? You read that book, then a lifetime decision.
What's about the latest one called Zombie? You explain what Kush is and what it does and how people react. There's this one in town we've been hearing called Zombie. Have you seen it before?
I have not seen Zombie, but I've been hearing about Zombie.
It's a recent drug now, Zombie.
To be very, very frank with you, I have not seen Zombie, but I've heard about it. I've not seen it. I'm reading about it. I'm doing some research about Zombie, what it does, and what is it that Zombie is different from, from Kush. What are the dangers, and why people should not really take it lightly with Zombie. Yes.
You're going to launch the book on tomorrow, and after that, it's going to be school after school or school from school engagement.
Yes, and we are targeted schools already.
How many?
We are targeted. We got about 4 schools right now that we're going to target immediately. We have more than that on the Bush Road Island, but we have 4 schools that we're going to target immediately. We have the Arabic school, English Arabic school at the Kawa Junction. Yeah. That's a Banki, Salim Baki. And the principal just died, may his soul rest in peace. He the one proposed moral society on every campus. The mayor used to hold it. He said, brother, don't stop this thing. Continue doing this thing. Because the children of today, because he has been dealing with children, especially school children. And we also have what we call moral character development. We are training moral character. We are the one that pushing that moral character development should go side by side with academic achievement in school. Because today, we have what we call PhD holders, 30-degree holders. They are occupying higher office within our society. But what's the integrity?
The moral.
What's the moral? You understand? So we want to start from there, from the children. So to say, well, this is the society which you find yourself in. And within the society, these are things that you're supposed to do because we define what is moral. The act of doing what is right from what is wrong. If you are morally, conscious, you have a moral consciousness, you will not waste water around here. You will not dress anyhow. But look at the children, how they're dressing now. Somebody dress and pull trousers on their waist, spray their hair, pull their ear. It is not good. What will their own children do tomorrow?
So let me speak to you or ask you in now the context of who you are, a religious leader, a bishop. Yes. What's your observation of this drug taking, the impact on people, and I'm not being specific because the older ones take it too.
Yeah.
But we put all the youth
On the
and
youth, yes, the older one take
and
it.
that emphasis is right because they made up a chunk of the population, the vast majority.
Yeah.
So explain that from your perspective as a pastor.
Yes, my observation.
Because you face the masses, all of them gather before you.
My observation is that it all starts from the upbringing of the children, the upbringing of the child. You see, sometimes you have to be very rigid. And some people, they just allow their children to go anywhere. They allow their children to mingle with any other children. And that at times create that what we call peer pressure, and some of them go astray. Like I used to be in the classroom, and one time I observed that the children always eating kaya in the classroom, but by then the idea of people facing drugs with kaya that what came to me. So all they will be causing in the call the area bakaya. So when I seize the kaya, I say, okay, recent people will eat the kaya. And all of them started laughing. So one girl came to me, she said, Brother Aski, don't eat that kaya. I said, why? He said, I think the children will be eating beyond that. They get drugs, Isa.
You truly wanted to taste?
I wanted to eat it at the end, So sometimes the upbringing, the parents have to be careful how their children go out, where they go, because sometimes they go on the school activities, they are involved with those things. So that's why when it comes to drugs education, it's everybody's business, and it should start from the home, in the school. And that's why we are praying that the Ministry of Education will be able to endorse our book and ensure it in the curriculum so that it can be taught in various schools. You see, not only just religious education, but religious drugs education and the substance abuse will also be a help to our children. I believe, like somebody called the morning on Freedom Heaven and said, this thing you people are supposed to start ever since. Everything have started ever since. We believe that some of our children were not going to be way more ahead. So these are some of our observations.
So what do you say on your pulpit? What kind of message you send across as a pastor on the pulpit facing the masses, all group of people?
Yeah, we are called to the church.
I agree, you're right. It starts from the home.
It starts from the home.
They are gathered from the home. They are gathered before the pastor.
Even we as pastors, we engage those guys in our community. And that's why we were able to partner with Patriot and to say to him that
Do you talk about the effect of drug, how damaging it is on the person and person's future, and what they need to do? Speaking directly to the parents, or you just go about talking about those theological issues to get the amens and hallelujahs?
No. In fact, in my church, the children ministry, the youth are ready to take to them because that's my area. I always tell them, these are the next generation. I always tell the parent, always advise the parent, even parents who don't bring their children to church, I frown on them and I get angry. You will see some parents leave their children home and they come to church. And sometimes I tell them, I say, it's evil to leave your children home and come to church. Because the church is a place
they could slip with their colleagues, and then they find themselves in the ghetto.
Definitely. So when you bring them to church, and they will be getting used to the church, and as they grow up, they will come to church. And as they come to church, they will be transformed. Because
how often you talk about drug education? How often it is part of your message on the pulpit?
No, actually, it's not often taught or preached in the church. But at times, especially when I do outreach and I manage to bring some of those guys in the church and we talk about it. We teach them that they have a future and going the way they're going, they will damage their future.
But I think it is one of the ways, one of several ways by which, if we can eradicate it, we can minimize it
Yeah.
if all of the platforms will talk about it.
Of
Like
course.
we use the radio station.
Yeah.
So the radio station faces
Yeah.
the masses.
Yeah.
The pastor gets on the pulpit, the masses assembles before him.
Yes.
So if everybody will be using the pulpit, not that you dominate your message with drug education, substance
At least
abuse,
some
but
components,
use at
it's in
most
there.
2, 3,
Indeed,
4, 5
yeah.
minutes
Awareness,
all
yes,
of the time.
yes.
You see, you
Awareness.
see the effect.
Yes,
the
of
change.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. And like I was telling him one day, I said some of these things, they are spiritual. Some of these children, they praying because one time I listened to a girl and she was discussing how the drugs can treat them. That when they take it, they feel that they are in a different world. And sometimes, and the guy was asking them, with all of what they have done, the rehabilitation, the training, they carry you, they flush it out of your body, and how they get started telling the guy, say, this thing that we can take is spiritual. We need prayers. You see, so the prayers aspect is also important. You see, and there's a conversation I listened to some group of girls. They were passing, they saw the group of Zogo guys, and they say, these are the people that are making men business hard. You see, so it's important because it have an impact on our girls, on the next generation, like we say.
Okay.
Patrick, before we go to the line, the approach is key. To say it is as easy, sweet, simple.
Okay.
But moving to start talking to those people is kind of difficult because everybody not the same. The reaction may not be the same. The atmosphere may not be as you envision it in your mind.
Yeah.
You want to explain?
Yeah, I want to, so several engagements have been done, even before now. So, in as much as we have been working,
because you're going to face resistance
we have
from
been
some
working.
of them.
We have been working with them. We have been working with them, with the youth, and also they see us sometimes, at the first instant, sometimes to be security people that want to arrest them. Okay, because I can share with you my experience when I was writing the first book, So-Going Society, when I was moving from ghetto to ghetto and trying to know how this so-called thing actually came about. You understand? Right beyond St. Paul's Bridge. To Riverview. When you go into Riverview, there's a place. So I saw a group of boys in their uniform. They were in their uniform. So when I went there, they tried to run away. I said, no, I'm not security man, I'm security man. So later on, they tried to sit down and they were convenient. I started asking them. Sometimes they see us at the first instant that we are security people, maybe we want to arrest them. But go on. If like you try to put yourself in their shoe, because that's how you get them. You put yourself in their shoe, to act like them. If you don't act like them, you have to get them. Later on, but you have your mindset. You know what is your goal, what you want to achieve. So except you act like them before you start talking like them, and maybe you talk to them and they will be able to understand you. So there are two aspects. As I told you, firstly, that we have 4 cardinal areas our organization is looking at. We are looking at the civil society. Of course, before that, we are looking at the school engagement program. The school engagement program is what is on now, and we have also what we call this community engagement program. Community engagement has to do with community awareness, and, seminars and things, meeting different stakeholders like chairman, chairlady, youth support group within community, meeting the Palaver House and talking about matters, that concerns them. Then we also have what we call the civil society engagement. Civil society engagement has to deal with, institutions, especially for instance, today we have a lot of psychosocial issues. When we look at what the musical industry is doing, they are playing their own part. Look at the Nigerian movies. That's a moral aspect now. Because you see, we are about to launch what we call the Secretariat for the Change of Behavior and Attitude. There are a lot of things we need to change our attitude about. Throwing death on the street. We have a drama on throwing death on the street. You understand? We have a drama on living in peace with your neighbor. We have a drama on that.
Your innovation program is not only taking these drug addicts off the street
It's
and
not
giving
only-
them a new life,
Yes.
but it
Change
cuts
of
across
behavior and
every
attitude, yeah.
area of life.
If I gave you the letters that were, that were written, and one of the letters, the other innovation in our objective and what we intend to address, we cut across all segments of our population. And at a particular point in time, we engage a particular, segment of our population. We design a program for awareness. There are a lot of things we are doing. We are doing sex education. We are doing moral education. In fact, we are pushing moral education to be, parallel with what academic achievement in Liberia.
You're listening
there are a lot of things we are doing.
You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 FM, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Voice of Liberia 90.7 with me, Sam Andrews. My guest from the Art and Innovation Liberia, they will be launching the Secretariat and books on drug education for schools. The team, National Call for all Liberians to join the fight against drugs and substance abuse, declared as a public health emergency on 22nd January 2014. Okay. And Bala Aski, Director of Secretariat, Patrick A. Chia, Director of Program. You want to ask them what questions you got on mind. 0770 907 907 0886 673 922 0776 36 40 45. Hello?
Hello.
Your name and where you call from?
My name is Ode Degoti Dom. I'm joining you from Brazil, Ode Africa Road.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I have a question for your guest. He described some of the job, but I don't know the job they call opinion too. I know opinion are drugs. I want to know, and I want to know whether what they doing immoral, whether they will go to the rural area and the Commercian, whether they will go there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You were answered. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Your name and where you come from?
Steve Gagana, and I'm joining you from Manchester, speaking from a community.
Let's hear you, Stephen.
Let me use this time first to commend the two studio guests for being far-sighted and with such a commendable vision. And this vision calls for a national cause, sincerely. Because whatever you guys are about to do, it benefits the entire society in reducing the number of Zogos and the number of drugs addicts, rehabilitated them, educated and so forth. It is a national issue. So I commend them, and my advice to them, let them not hopefully rely on national government, because some of the politicians, in fact, most of the politicians are people who are not looking at direction on ground that they have the financial capacitation, and they are not thought of bringing up such ideas. Let them look at civil grouping, let them look at individuals who got financial strength to enable them to push a vision forward. Thank you very much once again, gentlemen.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. 0770 907 907 0886 673 922 0776 36 40 45. Send your text message on 0776 36 40 45. Hello?
Hello.
Your name and where you call from?
I'm Reverend and Brown Senior, calling from 72nd.
Let's hear you, Reverend Amos Brown.
Yeah, I want to firstly thank your studio guests for the initiative. And I want to praise God that they were able to be very much innovative to have such an organization. But I want to encourage them to speak to like-minded people in Liberia, have a government. Because the serious, no, the government not serious for drugs. Fight in this country. Look at the budget on drugs. Then you call it AIDS pandemic in the nation. From our budget, when you see the drug budget, it's very much limited. So I want to encourage them. Let it right religious organizations in Liberia other good thing to help because this is very much serious. And if there is time when men business will get half of our grandchildren in the world in Liberia. So thanks to them so much, and I have interest in our book. Let them please give their number right after the show. Thank you so much, my radio station. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. They will read the number before they leave. 0770 907 907 0886 673 922 0776 36 40 45. Send your text message on 0776 36 40 45. It will be read. The launch is on tomorrow at the Moravia City Hall. What time?
12 o'clock.
12. Why 12? Why you didn't say the usual 10 o'clock?
Hello, because the children, the school children will be marching from 10:30. You know, they'll be marching from.
The official program will start.
Yeah, the official program will start by 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
0770 907 907 0886 673 922 0776 36 40 45. Send your text message on 0776 36 40 45. Few calls, they respond, and then they are out, and then the show continues. They are from the Bala Aski and Patrick A. Cheer from the Art and Innovation Liberia. The Secretariat will be launched tomorrow with the book on drug education for schools in Liberia. A very, very good text written to be launched on tomorrow. You can see it from wherever, those of you following the screen, you can see it. This is it. And it will be launched. You can get a copy of it. Is it going to be?
Yeah, when they come tomorrow, there are several books we're going to distribute tomorrow. Of course, the moral stories.
Not only this?
Not only this. We have 2 textbooks. We have Building Cultural and Moral Values of Children for Integrity in Society. And we have what we call the moral stories. We have 3 we have 3 moral stories books. It's not textbook, but we have 2 textbooks only. So we'll be launching 2 textbooks. And beside this, we have a student handbook on drug abuse. So that student handbook on drug abuse will be for only the student. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the program there for tomorrow.
You invited several individuals.
Yeah, several individuals. And we are rating several individuals.
You went into the legislature?
Yeah, I went in there. I went in there.
The speaker, the senator on education, all of those guys, Musability, Emmanuel Nokwi, Miguel, Speaker Kofa.
All of them are there. All of them.
Big names.
Big names. But then most of them are out.
Yes, like the DA boss is out of the
Speaker of the
country,
House
is
is unofficial.
And today we are the
DA boss is travel.
well. I think the president.
Bility yesterday said went to his office. He's out. Bility is out.
Hello.
Several of them are out.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Your name and where you call from?
James Malik calling from Tupelo City Community.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm listening to your both guests. What you are doing is very good for Liberia and every Liberian. And like you were saying, the church also has a huge responsibility to play in the whole church issue in our country. Most of the time, we are speaking as a man of God. Most of the time, pastors speak about prosperity, healing, and our people are not healing people mentally. Because if the people go to the church, some of the members in the church, the mother, the fathers, they have children who live on drugs every day in the community. So it is our responsibility as a church to reach out to these people, tell them the danger. Tell them when you're taking drugs, what will do about their future? It will spoil their future, even those that will come after you. Because Liberia depends on us. So we see a lot of young people nowadays, they're just going astray with the job issue. You see a guy today, maybe in school, the next morning you see him wear torn-up clothes, walking on the street, just pride working. So it is everybody's business, like one of the guests was saying. The issue is everybody's business. So what the government playing on the part, I think we all need to put hands on deck to see how best to help Liberia and Liberians so that our country will come back what it will be like years back. But if we just sit and watch, I tell you, 3-4 years from now, Liberia will be downside.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Okay. You guys can respond now and close up.
All right. So I want to be grateful to God for this opportunity by our partner, Omesim Sion, of course, Crime Stopper, the CEO, as he is also trying his level best to address or to raise the awareness in addressing some psychosocial issues, because sometimes things happen, people want to take the law into their hands. Especially sometimes, when I used to listen to him, when accident happened that, people want to, there's mob justice. Or maybe when a whole criminal, there's kind of a mob justice. Everybody want to jump on that criminal and kill him right away. But he brought up the idea that indeed it is good for police to take charge, investigate, where the wrong is, to pull it there. And of course, we now, drugs and crime, they are not far apart. They are brother and sister. Because when you take drug, and you are a drug taker, and then you must involve into crime. And when you take drug, the level of which you're thinking, by all means, you must involve into crime. So we are partner, with Omesim Sion, with other institutions, academic institutions. And for one fact, I want to say thanks, for this particular opportunity. Tomorrow will be the program. And as I say on this radio, we are placing a national call to every Liberian to be part of this fight against drug abuse, drug and substance abuse in Liberia. Now tomorrow, we are inviting everyone. We are inviting everybody. Okay, we are constrained presently, because even as I'm talking to you, there will be a band march tomorrow with the students, because you talk about launching a book, about drug education, and we have been dealing with schools, so you need to invite schools. So we are invited schools. There will be a bank march starting from the Techno House, on the bypass. That march will lead all the way to the City Hall at 12 o'clock. So by the grace of God, we want to say thanks, to our many listeners, and somebody to the rural areas, across the country. You see, our program goes by phases. Of course, tomorrow we will be advocating for, some of these like motorbikes, because Monrovia is not, Liberia. We need to be going to Kakata. We need to be going to, other areas, to train our youth, because after Magibi or Mosrado, there should be other counties that we'll be dealing with. And then other partners will come. Of course, to be movable, we need other things like motorbike and other things. So by the help of God, this is not only this particular drug education, we will be working with the Ministry of Education, because primarily we have to sit down with the Ministry of Education and try to, integrate or, put this into the curriculum of the RME, the religious moral education, so that drug education will become part of the RME. Thank you very much.
Asking?
Okay, thank you very much. We want to appreciate the Voice of Liberia family for hosting us to send out the message for our launch tomorrow at the Memorial City Hall. Like the director was saying, there is a water cost, and somebody jokingly said to us the money, I want to be part of how much you will pay me? And we said, no pay, and we're doing everything from our own pocket. And sometimes we walk. Like when I left the executive mansion, he said, "Go away from me to Voice of Liberia." I have to walk, so we walk places. And now that we getting money, we use our own money, our own transportation. Like today, I didn't bring my car because to come here, about 4 or 5 gallons of gas I have to use. So we want to call on the public and those who are pushing this judge thing. Like somebody said, we shouldn't only depend on big names. Sometimes it's true. Even we, the church people, we read big people, they don't come, but the little won't come. So we have to depend on people who are like-minded to, who pushing the issue of drugs, so that they will help us to propagate the message of drugs. So tomorrow we'll be at the Memorial City Hall. The time is 12 o'clock. If you listen to us, come and be a part. We'll be doing fundraising and to help us push the agendas of drugs. And we'll also be launching our secretariat. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys for coming in, and we look forward to a successful launch on tomorrow at the Monrovia City Hall. You don't want to miss that. I urge you to be a part. Get there tomorrow and see and hear and be educated. That could help your child, your son. There will be a question and answer period, because it's possible some people will go and say, "Oh, but Patrick, I get the other problem."
Okay. Yeah. We will be entertaining, questions. We'll be doing drama, drugs education drama. We'll be doing all of that, and we will also be doing other entertainment, about this drug education.
So they are Patrick Achie, Director of Program, and Bala Aski, Director of Secretariat. Next up, to give you a real understanding of what unfolding in the counties with our correspondents, Edwin Dra will pick up the correspondence. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia with me, Sam Andrews, and Edwin Dra. Let's break.
My people, where you at? Where you at?
They lie to us, and they stay lying. They just can't stop lying. They will continue to lie. That's the typical attitude of politicians. Very rhetorical. Make promises, can fulfill.
The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the world. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. Fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, they betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yet instead they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at.
And indeed, people crying from hunger and nowhere to go to survive. Folks, you're listening to Sam Andrews and Edwin Murphy and Joanne on Bits and Pieces this wonderful evening. We have very few minutes up to 6 o'clock, and 6 o'clock shortly we call it a day on the presentation of Bits and Pieces on today's presentation. So as Sam told you, we we'll be going down to the county so as to we can talk to Ramsey Singbet, who is always available and filling us with information from our Gibi County, as he earlier placed it with the caption about the recent communication from the UP and its alliances to the House of Senate, and he has to give us an update on it, and will also be giving us updates on how the issue of the guy who hanged himself last week, was it last week, for I don't know, I will tell you. But let's go now and talk to Ramsey Yenien Sengbe, the Margibi County Voice of Liberia branch manager. Good evening, Ramsey.
Good evening to the folks listening currently the Voice of Liberia. So like you rightly placed it, we have 3 outlines for today, and one has to do with update on the recent political rigmarole that started in Margibi from the background of the ruling UP and its alliances, about 6 of its alliances. As you may be aware, the UP and its alliances, and 6 of its alliances rather, rejected nominees by the president and wrote the Senate, especially the Senate Pro Tem, Yombi Lawrence, asking her to reject them also, so that they will come back to the county and have a roundtable conversation. She called a conference, and the UP and the alliance meeting with that communication against the national vice chair for governmental affairs of UP, Ben Fofana, who is a former representative of District Number 4. And that in a communication, they said at that time that he plays on dubious role in changing the names of people who they had consensus on to send for onward submission to the presidency for nomination or appointments. And so Yombli Kanga called a conference. In that conference, I understand Senator Darius Dillon was there, or Wellington Gibbon Smith was there, and then they had the 2 parties, Ben Fofana on a team, and the team from the UP and its alliances were represented. Now, she told them, listening to the both parties, the UP and its alliances pulled up their case, and the guys who were accused could not pull up, a defense for their action, because they were representing Ben Fofana. So Ben Fofana could not be able to defend his action. So she told them to come back to the county, and she gave them 1 week. We understand that 1 week has elapsed. They came back and had some conversation. They did some changes. From what we understand, they said they swapped some names, and they did some changes in the names. They submitted, or they did a resubmission to Madam Kanga Lawrence. So we also understand currently, as it stands, stakeholders, including religious leaders, and some tabras in the UP, are currently having consultation with leaders of the county. Like they've been having consultation with Senator Mangil, Senator Nunkwe, and other folks in the county. I don't know the background from whence they're having that consultation. I mean, the representatives and the senators, they're having some consultation with them on the same issue. So there where it stands now, to the best of my understanding. But on the overall, we can say that we're not too sure what are the changes that were made in the names will hold or it will not hold, because Yombli is a forceful or powerful person in the UP when it comes to decision making. But then the president has the power to be able to do appointment constitutionally. So the nomination he did, it also has to come to the Senate, and she has the Senate. They got to confirm it or they deny it. So this is the sticky part of it. So what are the president's nominations of the 16 local authorities or names of local authorities will be made that are already on the executive mansion website? Or if the changes that were made will reflect the names that are on the executive mansion website? And also whether another decision will be made as a result of the consultation being carried on with leaders of the county. That is why we're still looking up to see for this particular issue.
So right now there is no particular listing that has come up, indicating the appointments that were made previously that the citizens, came out against, right?
There's a listing, like I
So
said,
so
I'm
so.
not being able to sincerely get a copy of the changes made.
Oh,
But
okay.
some of the guys who raised the alarm, who wrote Yombly Lawrence, Kanga Lawrence to be able to.
But at time, Ramsey, some of these things when they happen at time, you will have an insider and you will have some of the parties or the folks
Oh yeah,
celebrating,
so insiders
celebrating,
told
and
me.
yeah, they will tell you that these people names were omitted, and once
Yeah,
it is so, you are
the
not.
sources are giving me the information. The owner told me we can only tell you that we have done some swapping in names. Some names are changed. We did the swapping of some names. And
Okay.
then who are the names that you changed? They said, just they told me, just wait. You'll see on the executive mansion website. And then I was like asking one of them, are you sure that this swapping you did? You guys can be hopeful that it will reflect what is on the website, and the names that were placed on the website earlier on will be changed. As a result, you're swapping, or some of the names will be dropped, and some people names will come over from your side as a result of the swapping you guys did. He said, we know that it's going to work. We are hopeful about it. Mm-hmm. So that was the kind of response I got. But then in the county again, there are people who are also saying that the American Lawrence is playing a smart game. And what are they saying? Why are they saying it? They are saying the reason why they say that is that the American Lawrence knows that Waka has the constitutional power to nominate, even though she also has the power constitutionally to be able to confirm as per what the law has, right? Mm-hmm. So those guys who their names were nominated that are being rejected by some of the folks in the county, especially the UP and its alliance and some of its alliances, they are saying that those guys, she knows that their own is constitutional. It's by law they were nominated. But a lot of people who are, designating names to do swapping, their own is not by law, and by that, it cannot be able to reflect the president's decision that is already on the website of the executive mansion. So therefore, she's only playing political game with them to make them feel that, oh, I'm in line with y'all, I support y'all, and so that tomorrow she'll say, like, maybe we try, we try our best and we do what we do, but this is the president's
the president veto it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Ramsey, thank you. Bring us to speed with the next development regards to the guy who recently hanged himself, like you mentioned.
All right. William Chokpa, the 44-year-old man who hung himself on Monday morning in Column Village, Mexico Farm District number 4, Gibby County, with no reason given when the police went to conduct the investigation. That there was no reason from what all the family said. He did not give any reason, but he hung himself very early that morning. Some of his family members and friends had gone to identify with him, with the family now, because he is no more. Mm-hmm. While they were coming by that scene, they're not far away from Column Village in the same Mexico Farm region. They pick up someone sorted, and as you may have the detail of the story that we put earlier on, someone saw that and fell over one of the occupants in the vehicle. Mama called it from the South Bomotan area along the Bomas Way in the same district number 4. Mm-hmm. And then the car busted into flames. And so she died. She was a person who died instantly. Mm-hmm. The car to burn. So the fire burned her also. Let me put it that way. The fire burned her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is so disheartening, but that's exactly what happened. So there are people, there were people who got burned. So they took them to the Canada Health Center later. They referred them to GFK. Now, today, we received report that William Toba, or Bedna, as you are popularly known, his own sister passed up today because she was badly burned, her whole skin got pee as a result of the fire.
Oh, the guy who hanged himself, sister passed off today.
Yes, and then what I understand is that they were the only two persons from one mother and father. So the both of them are considered late, which is very sorrowful. Very disheartening. Okay. She went there that day, she cried. She was the person crying all over. There was no control, no way that anybody could cool her down because she was very frustrated. While coming by the accident occurred and she got burned badly, today we understand she died when they referred her to the hospital. And then the owner of that car is currently on oxygen, on a critical condition.
Which had to do with the mate.
Yes, we have to do with the mate. Because this man was somebody who is somebody who is in relationship with his former woman.
Okay.
The victim now.
Okay.
Yeah, so there where we stand with that report. Now, we a fresh report coming from the county protocol officer told Vani the death was announced this morning from family sources. We went to understand what was the cause of the death, but there were conflicting information we got from our investigation. Some of the people, or sources rather, some of the sources were saying that this man was having sugar or diabetes. Yeah. Now, another source said that it as a result of frustration because, according to the source, his own wife was in the gallery explaining to them that about 3 years ago now, the both of them have not even been sleeping in the same house, though they live in the same house and have in the same yard and have houses in that same yard. But they have not been sleeping in the same house. Then, in recent time, he had been sick. So there's a lady in the community who was helping to do his treatment, and several other people who understand were helping to do his treatment. So one of them, he had a conversation with them and told the person that allegedly he was poisoned during the induction of the new superintendent in recent time.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the information he gave the person that he was poisoned during the induction of the new superintendent in recent time, creating the impression that people have been fighting him. Because we also understand that he told the person his new superintendent told him that they were going to do some elevation for him. So they were dunking to him and they were going to do some elevation for him. So we understand he was poisoned during the induction of the new superintendent. And then the person said he went ahead and also told them that this house here, I don't sleep here with my wife. You know, that information now, from that Bible now, from what we understand, socially, the people were trying to put out to eat chicken. Yeah, so he was trying to make out to understand I don't sleep here with my wife. I can even bring my girlfriend here, my wife, and myself. 3 years ago, we had not been sleeping in the same house. It does not have time for me, and the family knows about that. So the only thing I can tell you, there's one room in this house that no other person can enter. Only me can enter that room. Yeah, so plenty different information came out that the man had sugar sickness, or that the man said that he told somebody that he was poisoned, that the man was sick, but he died home. He didn't die at the hospital. And we understand that
he died in Margibi, in Kakata?
He died in Kakata at a house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you, Ramsey. Let's get to some understanding with regards to the wax that is being postponed by a wax authority and the reaction of students in Margibi. You mind telling us?
You know, obviously, the postponement of wax for most of the 12 graders is something that they will celebrate now. Because for so many reasons.
So they're celebrating the postponement?
I've seen a lot of students, not all of them. Some of them they are not in line with the postponement. But I've seen a lot of 12 graders that I know of recently. When you ask them, they will tell you, oh, but nothing wrong with that. I think you'll get more time to study, we'll do more research. They said nothing wrong with that. So they're okay with the postponement. From what I see so far with most of them, not all of them.
Okay, lastly, they say the issue. On Monday, you reported that Kakata is a Delhi city at the moment where drug is being stored, packed all parts of the main streets in Kakata. How is it like since you reported? Have they laid up to some commitment made earlier? Have they cleaned the decks or still packed in the city?
Yeah, the last time when I reported, I think you listened to the chief of officer in the office of Representative Emmanuel Oya of District Number 4, my Gibi County, when he said to you that during the campaign they were doing it and they are still committed to doing it. But since that day we reported, some of the dirt have been taken away because some of the places I saw dirt stored packed. After the report that day, the next day I passed there, I didn't see dirt to some of the places, but I saw dirt to some of the places and they still got dirt to few areas. And this is when sometimes the dirt can be passing sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes a week. What can happen? In fact, it has even become like a custom because, you know, that government, we it to get used to something, even if it is bad, we don't want to leave it. And we think now, because we are used to it, it is our right to do it, even if that thing is bad. So that is the situation. People are still used to, people still used to walking, eating, trapping, dirty in the street. And then you come to the extent that you tell them, say, you know what we do? You'll be parking the dirty in the street, people will come to clean it. So the way, sincerely, between you and myself, the way then candidate Emmanuel Yah, now represented Yah, used to be very frequent. I used to see a vehicle frequently cleaning the street. I don't see that these days. I don't know whether there's a problem with the vehicle or whether it is the arrangement with the city corporation, because he's doing our work in line with the city corporation now. It's causing, the delay or whatsoever in the cleaning of the street these days. But during the campaign, it used to be very frequent. It used to be something that when there is parking in the street, in less than 2-3 days, they will clean it up. But these days, it is not happening. And I don't know what the main reason for that. But it does not also mean that they are not doing it. They are doing it, but at a slow pace, from my observation and everything that I see here in Kakata. And then the city corporation is actually seriously challenged. They are always been crying and complaining about support to clean the streets, coupled with the fact that our own attitudes as citizens in a place of residence, we just get in the streets and behave anyhow.
But no city mayor, why are they crying?
No, but that has been something even before now.
Okay.
The past city mayor, Emmanuel Go, he always complains. He has always had problem. He has always had problem with two representatives. The two representatives are Ellen Atorwell, District Number 3, and the former representative Ben Fofanana. Because both of them, their districts share boundary. In Kakata, the boundary between District Number 3 and 4 is the main quota. So coming from Monrovia, on your left side is District Number 4. Your right side is District Number 3. From Banga, you can just, turn it the other way around. Your right side is District Number 4, and your left side is District Number 3. And so the quota is a boundary. So the two districts fall in Kakata. And then he always complained that they were not supporting him, they were not in line with him. And then they too had their issue with him, that he was disrespecting them. He was trying to challenge them. That in fact, it was not part of their, it is not part of their function that they should come and be clean the city. It is his function to ensure that the city is clean. But he was also always complaining that they're not working with him, they're not supporting. Yeah. And at one point in time, I understand he organized a program to get some equipment or logistics for Kakata city cleanliness. That program, Madam Ato attended that program. I think she made some contribution there to that program. It was like 500 USD, if I can recall. It been some times back.
Okay.
So all these things have been happening. He's been complaining about how the city was the people were not supporting. And then in the county development fund, when the county sitting is held, he also was complaining that there was no money allotted in the county council sitting, for the cleanliness of Kakata.
Okay, Ramsey. Thank you. He's now out. We hope that the new city mayor or mayoress will have to do something better than what he used to do.
Definitely.
Thank you, Ramsey, for filling in.
Thank you.
Okay. So Ramsey, the branch manager in Kakata, just gave us an update on the happenings in Margibi County. Let's try to put the report in context and zoom it out, as we don't have much time anymore. So Ramsey on Monday reported about the guy who hanged himself in District 4, Margibi County, and the people who came to sympathize when they were on their way back home. The car had an accident, and instantly a lady left under the car, and the car caught on fire. It burned to ashes, and the lady died. Several other persons were injured or wounded, and they were being brought at the CH Rene Hospital in Kakata, and later they were all referred to the JFK in Monrovia. A report coming from there that the man who hanged himself, only sister, biological sister from one mother, one father, is dead. She got burned very badly during the accident. And Brancy was also able to tell us that the car owner, we happen to be the guy who hanged himself. His former wife owned a new Hawksmoor now, He got burned badly as he was speaking to us. He told us that the guy is under oxygen and people should pray for him. Okay. And he also talked about the death of the Margibi County Protocol Officer, Tovani. Tovani is dead. He said there are a lot of things, people are saying that are associated with his death. And prior to his death, he had a communication or conversation with several other persons, including the person who was treating him, like they would say he had a sugar or diabetes. And later told the person that he has been living in his apartment for 3 years now, that he never had anything doing with his wife. And he earlier went on explaining that he got poisoned from the inauguration of the newly inducted or appointed superintendent of Margibi County, Madam Victoria Woloba Donkin. According to him, Ramsey said he was being hinted by the superintendent that he will receive a promotion from the job. When he received that, hint, he was excited, and not many people will keep such an excitement by themselves. They will go around telling everyone about their progress or promotion in life. So as it went on, he's dead. The protocol officer of Margibi County, Tovani, is dead. And later, on Monday, he reported that Kakata City is being dirty since sometimes now. The car that used to take the deck from the street, from the then candidate, Emmanuel Yah, now representative of District 4, Margibi County, the truck used to work in line with the city corporation, but they stopped seeing the truck in the street taking deck for a couple of times now. So the speculation is that the speculation and perception now is that he brought the truck in during campaign time because he wanted to draw the attention of people, and now he has won. He cares less about the deck in the street anymore now, so he leaves with the city corporation now to implement the city ordinance. So Kakata is faced with a deck challenge. And a lot more, he said. Former City Mayor Emmanuel Gore has been understood that he and former Representative Ben Fofana and current Representative Ellen Arthur, District 3 and then District 4, never used to poll. They had an issue several other times. And that's the reasons why you saw the city Kakata, having a lot of deck being stored parked in the street. And he had a lot of challenges with the authority of Margibi, the county sitting, he will pull him and nothing will be done. So folks, that's it. We can't take any call because of time. We have to go home. We just thought to hit you up on what unfolding in Margibi County. We want to say thanks to all of you. Thanks to those of you who've been watching live via the internet, and those of you who've been following us on the radio via your car, your keke, your radio to the house, or whatever means. I want to say thank you very, very much. Bit and Pieces. As we hit you on Thursday today, we'll be back on Friday tomorrow, God willing, as Bit and Pieces will be taking break or recess up to Monday next week. Until then, I've been Edwin Melvin Jua. Do have yourself a pleasant good time.
See, out your love, I'm lonely. I miss you, and it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you.